Well, hello everyone. Chris here again. Once again, taking advantage of this beautiful day, and wanted to share some thoughts. I might have to start calling these segments "Thoughts from My Tree." Um, so I was thinking about art and kindness, which is a couple things that we've been talking about lately, um, in the context of solidarity and everything. And I have this group that I've told you about before that I'm in. It's connected with the class that I'm taking, the online course. And it's generally a pretty good group. It's kind of designed for people to get feedback on their art and get motivation from others who have more experience. Sometimes it's kind of a little bit frustrating when you're trying to learn, and some people in there are just amazing, or pieces are just amazing. But generally I think it's good. There's one person in particular who's been posting for almost a year now, and she's not good. She posts paintings, they're just way off, proportions are off, colors are just random, and she's been doing the same thing for about a year. And she intentionally does not answer people who give her honest feedback. Now, I'll acknowledge there's three types of feedback generally that you can get. One is just telling you how great you are and what you want to hear. The other is mean and laughing, making fun of somebody. And then there's the good constructive feedback. This particular person groups constructive feedback in with the people who would make fun of her. The amount of people that actually make fun of her is extremely minimal, almost a negligible amount. There are far more people who are just saying nice things, the things that she wants to hear. And there are a lot of other people who take a lot of time to write out really thoughtful and meaningful pieces of constructive feedback to help her, and she never does any of it. And it's actually gotten to the point where a couple people have brought up, and I'm starting to think that it might be true, that this person is a troll and that she's just doing this to get attention from everybody and just to frustrate people, because it's really getting to the point where that's the only explanation. It gets me to thinking, because what's happened is there's become this polarization between the people who genuinely want to help and the people who frankly are just blowing smoke up her ass. And the people who are just telling her nice things that aren't going to help her improve, get better in her art, are starting to attack people who are actually giving constructive feedback, people who are trying to help her. They're calling them rude. And that really gets me to thinking, what constitutes kindness? In my opinion, the person posting these works is more rude, far more rude than anybody that's commenting to her. She calls people rude and just talks down to them for giving honest, helpful feedback. And the people who defend her and the people who call the constructive feedbackers rude are basically saying, let her do her art her way. Art is subjective anyway, and this is how she likes to do it. Fair enough. The thing is, she's specifically asking for what people think, and it's not good. And the real point of frustration for people is that she is using very specific techniques incorrectly, and that's why I'm starting to think that it's like a troll, because you'd almost have to be deliberately doing it to be this off, this for this long. But what it makes me think about is what real kindness is. These people who are attacking the constructive feedback people are not being kind. They're not being kind to the commenters, and they're not being kind to the artist who's posting them, because they're not helping her at all. They're actually enabling her bad behavior. They're encouraging her, and her mental just childishness is just being exacerbated by them being who they are. She's not growing as an artist, and she's not growing as a person. Whereas these other people are actually trying to give her meaningful feedback to help her, and they're just being completely rejected. So who's the one being kind and who's not being kind? Because that's the thing that those people keep saying, is that you're just being rude. You know, we need more kindness. Just let her be. You're not really being kind. Words are cheap. So that was just what I was thinking about. I know that validation is important, but I just wondered what people thought about that. What would you do in that situation? Because I've commented a few times with, again, attempting at helpful feedback, and just like with everybody else, it's ignored. And I'm at the point where I'm just ignoring her altogether. But I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that and how you would handle that. Is there a such thing as mean kindness, being nice actually being a toxic thing because of what it enables? Anyway, just what I was thinking about today. Thanks for checking me out once again, and I'll be talking to y'all again real soon. Have a great rest of your day, and remember, don't be afraid to question the consensus.